Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Corey Ray Kovacs. I'm a registered nurse and a women's wellness mentor. And I'm really excited to share with you one of my favorite exercises to do when you feel like you need a little bit more support, a little bit more love and tenderness, and are just feeling kind of stressed out and maybe not like yourself. We are living in a time right now when things are really hard for women. We are turn on the news and we constantly are feeling attacked by the social media as well as our current political climate, especially here in the United States. And it can take a toll and is taking a toll on our bodies. Our stress levels are high, we're worried, and that's not doing anything good for us in terms of actually feeling like we're being cared for. It can feel very lonely and challenging. And if you resonate with that, if you've really been having like challenges with your, feeling safe, then this exercise that I'm going to teach you today is going to be perfect for you. I love this exercise. I call it the Hello Body Thank You exercise. And really, it's something that you can do at any time. But I find it's best to do either while in a bath or a shower, or even like today, I did it after my yoga practice while I was lying in Shavasana, and I got up and started doing this technique. And really what it's meant to do is it's meant to bring a sense of calm and love to yourself that maybe you haven't really received for a while. Of course, maybe you've got a partner or kiddos or, pets. And so you do feel that love and connection, but there's something different when you kind of turn your love and your attention and focus onto your own self and your own body. Feel like there's a lot of times we have negative self-talk where we walk by a mirror and we think that we aren't living up to our kind of social standards or even our standards of what our bodies should look like. So it's can be very wearing on our self-trust. And you start to see things like your confidence go down, or you second guess your decisions. And really, this comes from a place of not feeling safe inside our very bodies. And then you couple that with what's going on the outside, and you have a recipe for feeling very unseen and just not having a connection with yourself. So the way that this exercise works, and I'll kind of explain it to you, is that you are going to be moving from different body parts to acknowledge and bring love and attention and gratitude and appreciation to each of those body parts. Typically, I like to start at my feet because honestly, when's the last time you talked to your feet? Probably never. I know it sounds kind of silly, but what you're going to do is you're going to bring all of your attention to your feet. And that's why I love doing this when I'm sitting or in a bath, because then I can actually touch my feet. There's something about having a physical connection with that. And what you say is, hello, feet. Thank you. And then you start telling it thank you for very specific things. For example, today I thanked my feet for holding me up during my yoga practice today. I thanked my feet for being able to go hiking. I thanked my feet for walking me around when I take care of my chickens. As you start to bring these things up and be very specific about your feet and what they do for you, you might start to notice some either images come up or ideas about even more specifics about what this body part does for you. Something that came up for me today was I had this awareness that my feet allowed me to dance on point when I was younger. And immediately tears started kind of streaming down my face because I don't think I had ever acknowledged my feet for doing that for me. Even though I've done this practice many times, that was the first time that I actually acknowledged that particular piece. And something just moved me. I felt so seen, and as oddly as it sounds, my feet felt so seen, which my feet are a part of me. So suddenly I felt acknowledged and appreciated and supported and loved in a way that I hadn't the moment before I said those things. So once you start at your feet or even your toes, then you move on, and you start moving up and you say, hello, legs. Thank you. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for moving me around the world. Thank you for giving me the ability to stand up. Thank you for, I said thank you for squats today because I love doing squats. It's like one of my favorite little exercises. So, and you can get more specific. Again, the more specific and personal that you can get, then the more impactful that this exercise becomes. It gives you a sense of appreciation and literally the you start to feel the connection to yourself in a way that maybe you never had before. I will say that this often can be a very emotional exercise. So just be aware of that as you become vulnerable with yourself and speak these things. Suddenly you might feel emotions and certain feelings that you hadn't felt for a while. As you step into gratitude, you might even find a space of apology that might come up. I today reflected on my legs and I apologized as I was saying thank you. Then I felt that I wanted to say I'm sorry as well. And I apologized for speaking unkindly to my legs for so long and for thinking that they were wrong. What that did is it just opened up this beautiful space of permission for me. And it created this sense of love and support. So I encourage you to kind of move through all of your body parts, even the parts that you think may not be the ones for you, right? Or might even think are the hardest to say thank you to. It's not uncommon to have parts of our body that maybe we've neglected or that we even don't like. And so it can be very strange to offer gratitude to those parts of us, or we might experience feelings of guilt or sadness that we've treated ourselves in that way. But when you start to give space to that and you give voice to those feelings that you had, now you can move them through your body. And instead of holding them inside, because sister, I promise you, they're already there. They're just not seen. So when you give yourself this permission, all of a sudden now you can process those things in a way that feels genuine and feels safe. It feels protective because then you are bringing and coming from a space of gratitude. Because remember, the very first thing you're saying is, hello, thank you. Hello, fingers, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to type these words on the screen. Thank you for allowing me to write. Thank you for helping me paint pictures. It's amazing what happens when you start doing that. So again, you take the practice, you start at one end and you go all the way up with all your body parts, especially those parts that you have had struggle with in the past. You say, hello, name the body part, thank you. And then you start thanking it specifically for things that particular body part has done for you. As you're doing that, you're touching it and you're giving it love and compassion and grace. You're letting those feelings kind of well up in you so that way you can direct your love towards those parts of you. And then finally, when you're done, give yourself a big hug and just thank your whole body for being here with you and for deciding to do this life with you. I know that sounds so silly, but it's really not. Coming back to the space here right before we wrap up, of remembering that we don't go through life thanking and showing appreciation enough to ourselves. We thank other people for being kind and we thank other people for taking care of things, but we often don't thank ourselves. And you are an incredible human being with an incredible body that does so much for you all the time. So I encourage you and I invite you to practice this and witness the feelings and the transformation that can happen even from just a simple practice. My hair's tickling me today. So thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being here and watching on my YouTube. If you loved my message today, please subscribe and follow. And leave a comment down below if you try out this exercise. I'd love to hear your experience with it. And I look forward to seeing you next time.